Have you ever dreamed of selling it all and cruising into the sunset? Well, that's exactly what we did. It's no fun going it alone though, so why don't you join us for the ride? After a great time in Amsterdam and shedding our jet lag, we took off for Mykonos in the Greek islands by way of Vienna, Austria, where we had a quick layover. The Austrian Airlines flight that we were taking was pretty full, and they made me try and attempt to put my luggage in one of those measuring devices, my carry-on, and of course I failed, so we had to check it. The good thing was it was no cost, but that meant that in Mykonos we had to wait around for luggage when we got there. My first impression of Mykonos was from the baggage area, and I could tell right away that we were at a more cosmopolitan destination. Our Airbnb host was nice enough to provide a driver for us, and even though we were delayed and got in probably around 9 p.m., our driver was there and took us for about a 10 to 15 minute ride over to the little village of Ornos, where we were staying. This is our Airbnb in Mykonos, in Ornos Beach. So no doubt these could be sleeping couches here. Breakfast bar, nice kitchen, refrigerator, microwave stove. Air conditioning, of course. Nice little tiny bath here. And a separate bedroom with a nice sized bed. The maid is cleaning up here, putting her clothes away. Looks like out here we have a outside area with a coffee table and place to hang out. Nice little patio. We arrived in the dark, so we didn't really get a chance to see what the place looked like. But it was a really nice outdoor patio area and a close walk to a nearby bakery. We pretty much ended up here every morning grabbing some bread and pastries. As is typical of most bakeries in Europe, they also have ready-to-go sandwiches. I guess you could say we spent a lot of time in this bakery and we sampled a lot of these items. All were really good. Being the first morning and knowing the beach was a short walk away, we decided to check it out. While Mykonos has a little bit of a reputation as being a party island, Ornos Beach itself is known as more of a family beach where the water is pretty calm. As with most beaches on Mykonos, there are plenty of cabanas and beach chairs for rent, and it's fairly expensive. I think it was about maybe 70 euros, so about $75–80 a day for 2 chairs and umbrella. I don't recommend drinking the tap water in Mykonos, so we were off to the store, which was also nearby, to get some bottled water and some other things that we wanted for the couple days we were staying there. The local market has pretty much everything that we wanted, and also an array of meats and cheeses for later on in the day. We pretty much live on meats, cheeses, and wine. Also, just a few minutes walk from the Airbnb was a scooter rental place, and we decided to rent a quad and go touring on the island. We got a pretty good deal at $65 for the day. I wanted to go with the scooter, but Lori wouldn't have it, so we went with the quad, and I think in retrospect it was a great choice. Mykonos is quite typical of the Greek islands, with the whitewashed houses and the landscape that's very arid and dry, but very beautiful, and quite a bit of chapels just about everywhere. Get some great views of Mykonos town and the harbor in the distance. Lori had read something about a lighthouse that's worth seeing, so of course we made the trek up to see it. It was a good choice because we were treated to some magnificent views. The helmets were definitely functional, but I can't say they were aesthetically appealing. So after a little bit of touring, the roads led us into Mykonos town, which is the main capital of Mykonos. It was certainly very touristy and quite crowded. Our first impression was there were a lot of lovely little tavernas, or little cafe bars that Greece is famous for. Just wandering through town, we happened upon the windmills that are a very popular tourist attraction in Mykonos. It was about this time that we also noticed all the cruise ships that were in port. In hindsight, we probably picked the wrong day to come to town. As we walked through the portside tavernas, we came across another popular tourist photo op called Little Venice, aptly named for the houses that were built alongside the port from the water on up. Mykonos town is a labyrinth of streets. It was fun to walk through, find little shops, and stroll about town. That is, of course, until the town got overrun with tourists from the cruise ships. We used the crowded streets as an excuse to go to a local bar, the All Day Bar, to have a few cocktails. At this point, we had enough of the crowds in Mykonos town and wanted to head off to a popular beach called Paradise Beach, known to be the party beach, so we had to check it out and see what it's all about. It was still early, about 4 in the afternoon, but we could tell this place had potential. Well, as they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So if that was at 6 p.m., I can only imagine what it was like at midnight on Paradise Beach. Pretty wild. But that was enough for us. We have a big day planned for tomorrow. For Lori's birthday, I had booked a day sail on a catamaran that would take us from the port around by the island of Delos, the historic island, and then over to, I believe, Reina, where we would have lunch and some swimming in the beautiful sea. It had been super windy the last couple days, but this day was quite calm and nice. Not great for sailing, so we motored most of the way, but still had a wonderful time.
Did they just charge the remainder on the car?
Sail, where are we going? Delos. By going past Delos. With our captain. Mike, that's okay.
Relax, enjoy. They will talk.
Happy birthday, Lulu. At one point, the captain put it on autopilot and left the helm. And the thought did cross my mind. We were fortunate enough to cruise by the island of Delos, which is a famous archaeological site known as the birthplace of Apollo. So very important to Greek history and culture.
Here, the Athenians were keeping their savings over here. The first synagogue ever made also was on this island. Don't ask me why and how. Cleopatra used to have a house here also. Caesar built a house for Cleopatra because it used to be a very in place to come over here, like Mykonos, like that. That's it. So on the island they live only securities and archaeologists. So the houses that you see, they swap every 3 months because they are still excavating. They say they only discovered the 30%, so they have more to discover. And
just a few minutes past the island of Delos was our first anchorage, where we were able to swim for at least an hour. And then while we swam, the chef cooked up an amazing lunch.
fresh with lemon, garlic, and oregano prawns. Chicken curry lemon and thyme, just meaty, and baked feta cheese with some chili flakes, so it's a little bit spicy. The prawns is 2 each, and if there is leftovers, you can help yourself. Again, enjoy. Buon appetito.
On the way back, we buzzed Mykonos town and got a different perspective of the windmills. Some morning delights from here, from the Greek bakery. The size of that donut, huge. It tasted as good as it looked. We spent our last day on Ornos Beach, and we're glad that we did. The beach is lined with restaurants, and they have excellent service. We actually happened to have sushi that day, and it was really good. Fortunately, there were a number of great restaurants within walking distance of our Airbnb, and the captain from the Catamaran trip recommended this local taverna and said you had to try the fish. This taverna was portside on Ornos Bay and had a wonderful view of the sunset. We had a delicious meal and the atmosphere was amazing. After the sun went down, they lit the fiber optic lighting above us. It looked like a million stars. It was really pretty neat. The next morning, we were off to catch a ferry to go to the island of Naxos, and we got a complimentary ride from the Airbnb, which was really nice. And of course, he took his father along. I think the ferries in Greece are absolutely amazing. They're pretty much on time, and they come in hot, fast, drop the ramp. You better get on quick. When the last person steps on, they pull the ramp up, and they're off. We only had a 45-minute ride, and our ferry in particular was smaller, just a passenger-only ferry. Fairly luxurious, I think, by ferry standards, and it was a nice ride over to Naxos. That pretty much wraps up a few days in Mykonos. We hope you liked this video, and if so, please like and subscribe.